Swayam Prabha. Digital India. Educated India.
Welcome dear students. This is a video for the subject of education, for the course of Bachelor's in Education and for the paper of Conceptual Foundations of Education. We are going to discuss the sociological basis of education, and in this lecture it will be the relationship between education and society, which is discussed in detail. This video has been recorded by Dr. Iram Khan. The course coordinator and the presenter for this video is Dr. Iram Khan from Jamia Millia Islamia, New Delhi. The academic expert or reviewer for this video is Dr. Savita Kaushal from Jamia Millia Islamia, New Delhi. This video is produced under the project DTH Swayam Prabha channels of MHRD or the Ministry of Education of Government of India. Hello dear students, I am Dr. Iram Khan, Assistant Professor at IASC Faculty of Education, Jamia Millia Islamia, New Delhi. Today we are going to have a discussion on sociological basis of education, and in today's lecture we will be discussing the relationship between education and society. So let us start the discussion first with the objectives of this session. The objectives of this session are to discuss the relation between education and society, to elaborate the impact of society on education, and to check the impact of education on society, to discuss the duties of society towards education, and to discuss the duties of education towards the society. So students, we all know that society, sociology and educational sociology are intimately connected with education. But how they are connected, what exactly is the basis of this connection, we will be discussing here in this session. So if this is a fact that society, sociology and educational sociology are intimately connected with education, then we can say that each of them, each society, keeping in view its own needs, ideals and aspirations, organizes its education in such a manner that it is able to realize its ideals and develop its individuals into dynamic citizens. This is possible only when all of its individuals are able to mold their behavior according to the ideals of society, or you can say the demands of the society, and are able to achieve harmonious adjustment with it, with the society itself. So education is the most powerful means to achieve this aim. A society is conformity with the basically in taking all these things in conformity, a society with the times and circumstances determines the kind of education which is required by its members. And to receive, to develop this type of education, this society works on the education system of their members, and also it tries to make the this education system useful for its members, to make the society itself a strong, stable and powerful in all spheres. It is, at least to certain extent, very much clear that education is a very powerful medium of change in the hands of society to organize and mold its educational pattern to suit its aims, ideals, and purposes. So let us first discuss the relation between education and society. We have already discussed that education and society are intimately related. It is the society which determines and formulates the pattern of its education according to its needs, ideals, and ambitions. And we can also mention this very clearly that the society will be carved in a way in which its education will be prepared or carved. So we can say that education follows and tries to realize the ideals of society which basically it serves. To be more clear, to be more precise, the changing pattern of a society brings about corresponding changes in the educational processes and patterns. Then basically we have seen that history has proved, or history proves, this axiom very clearly and definitely. And few of the important or relevant examples of the connections, if we want to make the connections between the education and society, there are few of those pointers which we can mention. So let us try to see all these points. The first one, the first relation between education and society can be seen in the ancient and medieval society. What exactly this means? During the ancient and medieval times, religion had its own way and its own, you can say, uh, pointers or things which were actually imposed over the society. Consequently, education was also of religious nature, and that's why, in conformity to religious tenets, ceremonies, and rituals, basically all these things were emphasized for the development of character, attitude, and behavior of individuals. So, this was the basic nature of the education system of the ancient times and the medieval society. Then comes the next pointer, which is the modern society. So, what exactly is the relation between education and society in the modern society? We know that modern society has got a good sort of, or you can say, a very important impact of science on it. So, science has a powerful impact upon modern society, which is somehow very much clear. And that's why education tries to promote thinking, reasoning, discrimination, judgment, or discriminatory judgment, or maybe some sort of clear cut judgments together with other mental powers of individuals to the maximum. It may be noted that present day society has various forms. Each type of society organizes its education according to its own needs and ideals. And following the lines of what exactly is needed and what is ideal, basically all these societies try to discuss the forms of educational organizations in conformity with the type of or nature of their own, or what exactly is the type of the society. Basically it decides that what will be the nature of the educational organizations, or what will be the forms of educational organizations. So all these things are or can be seen very much here in the modern societies. Then comes the next pointer, which can be taken as the idealistic society. In the idealistic society, great importance, or a lot of importance, is attached to ideals and intelligence, and also to education. Basically, the education is organized to achieve the ideal of spiritual development here in this idealistic society. And that is why, in such a society, education emphasizes character formation and moral development as the main uh, pointer, or as the main important work. Then comes the materialistic society. In a materialistic society, material welfare and affluence are greatly emphasized. Little importance is attached to spiritual and moral values. And this is the reason why the whole educational pattern in this materialistic society is organized to develop abilities in the individuals to achieve more and more physical pleasure and material welfare in all fields of life, or you can say in all the areas wherever the people are working. So this basically is the relation between education and society in terms of the materialistic society. Then comes the next one, which is the pragmatic society. We have discussed it earlier also in few of our lectures that what exactly pragmatism is all about. And in the pragmatist society, what is the belief system, that is also already discussed. But let us just have a look on that, what exactly the belief system of pragmatism is. So, pragmatists believe that truth is related to times, circumstances, and places, and that is why it changes to suit the changing conditions of life and society. The test of truth is therefore its verification by experiment and application. And we have already seen that in this pragmatic society, learning by doing or learning by experimentation was given a lot of importance. And that is why pragmatists lay great stress upon education to develop capacities to create new values to suit the changing pattern of social conditions and situations. Then comes the next one, which is the fascist society. In a fascist society, state is all powerful. So the most powerful entity in the fascist society will be the state or the government. In such a state, the individual is of very little significance. And that is why in a fascist society, an individual is expected to sacrifice his or her all, and even the life of an individual can be uh, on the basis of what exactly is the requirement of the state. So the life of an individual can also be for the sake of the state. And that's why education is organized in such a way as it promotes the absolute obedience and an attitude to complete surrender for the state in this fascist system. So in such a society, only the gifted and really capable children are allowed to receive education, whereas the masses are generally discouraged to have any education which worths the name, or you can say that the white collar jobs or those sort of education which require or which actually end up in making a person going to some academic field or some white collar positions, that is only restricted to only the gifted or the really capable children, and the masses or those who are not that well versed in different things and different sort of um, attitudes and attributes, they actually are discouraged in this type of society for getting the education which lead them towards a white collar job. Then comes the next type, which is a democratic society. In a democratic society, freedom and full development of all individuals are valued the most. One and all are allowed full opportunities to develop their individuality, or you can say that every single individual is allowed to develop their individuality, their personality, their skills to the fullest extent in this democratic society. For this, each individual is provided education according to the needs of this individual, the nature and requirements of this individual. Nothing is forced from outside and nothing is imposed by virtue of any authority. Social and moral qualities, together with human sentiments, are developed through wholesome and harmonious education, so that all individuals develop their fullest, or you can say the complete personality is flourished and is able to develop to the fullest, and they become able to contribute their utmost to social good and international welfare. Every single citizen becomes able citizen and can be a person who can contribute to the welfare of the society. So this is the democratic society, and we are fortunate enough to be the part of a democratic nation where every single citizen is having equal rights to get proper education and even the free and compulsory education to a certain age. So this is something where we have seen that how education and society are related to each other, how education and society are having such a sort of relation which is actually making uh, them very much interdependent. After understanding the relationship between the society and education, let us try to see the impact of society on education. We will discuss all these impacts in several points. So the first point is the influence of social structure and ideals. It has already been made clear that the ideals of a society determine the ideals and values which education is supposed to achieve. A close and despotic society will have its organizational pattern of education to develop qualities of absolute and meek obedience together with attitudes of complete and unquestioning self-surrender, while open and democratic societies will advocate education to promote free thinking, free reasoning, and an eagerness towards cooperation, initiative, and self-discipline together with other self-experiences and activities according to a person's or an individual's own needs, nature. uh, Basically this individual would be having some sort of nature which is unique to him. So the activities would be according to the needs, the nature of this individual and the inherent capacities. There would be something in which this individual would be very much able to do certain sort of things. So what exactly is the inherent capacities that is also being taken care of whenever the education is imparted? So such societies plan their the entire coverage of the mass educational systems and promote people's education to the fullest possible extent. Then the next point here which I need to discuss is the influence of the political condition. Political ideologies also influence education to a great extent, and this is a proven fact that the political systems make an impact on the society, and even the educational systems have got impact from the political thought process or the political will. So we see and we have seen earlier also that political doctrines and setup of the states organize education according to their political aims and ideals, which are to be achieved through educational processes and programs. The purpose is just to prepare citizens for political conformity. So this is something which is a very strong point to mention, because the political welfare or the political influence is something which cannot be uh, negated, or it is not something which can be ignored. So this is the second sort of impact. Then the third point is the influence of economic conditions. Economic condition of society exerts its great influence upon the educational pattern. And this is something which is because of the fact that educational activities and programs require a great amount of financial support. Because without any sort of financial support, how can a system can be sustained, or how a system can actually run. So those societies which are affluent and plentiful provide liberally to educational plans of mass education, and also provide various types of education to increasing number of children. Such countries are able to provide good buildings or infrastructure, or basically the campuses, educational aids, then the other infrastructures like the libraries and laboratories in sufficient number and the quantities. On the other hand, the poor societies, uh, as even in few of the cases in our country, uh, we are still struggling, and we are still thriving to get some sort of proper infrastructure and amenities in the rural areas, and those areas which are somehow not aware of the policies and the provisions of the government. So some of these societies are not able to provide for all type of education to its citizens, who need all type of vocational, technical, professional, commercial and agricultural education to achieve their own development and the development of the society. Then the next impact of society on education can be seen in terms of influence of religious conditions. This is something which needs mention. Why? Because religious ideas and beliefs of a society influence the educational pattern to a great extent. Those societies which hold fanatical religious beliefs plan their education in their own way, and they deny free thinking and liberal attitudes to be inculcated in their children. And just on the contrary to them, societies which believe in free thinking, liberal attitudes, and respect for all religious organizations or all the religions, they provide education on a secular and liberal nature and promote the liberal attitudes and respect for all religions, emphasizing only moral basis of religious systems for educational processes and programs. The next point here, or the next impact, can be seen in the influence of social thought. Social point of view has its own unavoidable impact upon education. It is a society uh, like, or any of those societies where old customs and traditions reign supreme. Education is planned in the old traditional ways, emphasizing traditional ideas or ideals and values. They become impervious to new values and modern thoughts. And on the contrary to them, societies where progressive attitudes of people gain their hold, they, uh, they basically devise progressive modern aims, curriculum, and even adopt newer and newer, or you can say the modern type of progressive techniques and devices of education. So this is something which is related to the influence of social thought. Then the next point is influence of social changes. So society changes with the change of social ideals, attitudes and values of people. Linked as education is with the society, changes also occur in the educational patterns, procedures, policies and programs. For example, in let's take the example of our own country. In our country, some 60 years back, education was provided for the chosen few among the society. Even women were like the females were discouraged from being educated. But now, under the impact of modern democratic and progressive ideals of life, the like all the people, all the portals of education have been open for all, and all the individuals without any distinction of color, caste, creed, sex, or any type of discrimination actually is not done once there is a point of educating to the children. So every single citizen of India or every child who is in our country is having equal rights to get educated. So this is something which actually informs us about the influence of social change, and this is something which is a very prominent impact of society on education. After having a look on the impact of the society on education, let us have a look on the impact of education on society. As the society influences education, basically education too exerts its influence on society. And what are those areas or those arenas in which we can find the impact or the influence of education on our societies? Let us just have a look. The first point here to mention is preservation of social heritage. Education preserves social and cultural heritage. As a matter of fact, each society has its own customs, traditions, together with moral and religious creeds, which are the society's achievements since the time immortal. And if we speak it very clearly, each society has a legitimate pride over its social heritage, which is never, which basically it never allowed to decay and die out. They try to preserve their ethos, their heritages. So education conserves and preserves this heritage, which is the basic function of a society. The next point here, which needs to be discussed, is awakening of social feeling. An individual is very closely related to the society. This individual can achieve the development in and through society, promoting the good of other fellow beings. So this is something which is very important to understand, that if we are making our development, it is imperative that we should think of the others, our peer group, or those who are the members of our society. So without society, an individual cannot exist. Therefore, development of social awareness, social feelings, and social attitude is very essential from all points of views. In fact, it is education uh, which inculcates such social attitudes, ideals, and values together with a spirit of service and sacrifice for the cause of others. Varieties of educational programs, uh, different processes, activities, experiences, and active participation in them make the individual social minded, or you can say society oriented or service oriented. Then the next point is, or the next impact of education on society can be seen in the political development of society. Education helps in an important manner, uh, basically in the political development of the society. It is through education that an individual is able to gain knowledge about various political ideologies operating in the world. One can acquire a balanced outlook after a comparative study to different political doctrines with with the own ideology or with the own state in which basically this person is there. So in this way, education spreads political awakening in the people, developing civic sense of their rights and duties for the promotion of their own good, and the like basically the person's good is going to result in the good of the society. So we can say that education helps the political development of the society also. Next point is the economic development of society. Education develops society economically too. To achieve this goal, education provides various types of vocational training to children to uplift themselves and bring about economic progress and prosperity of society to which they belong to. Without education, a society remains economically backward and consequently poor in the eyes of the community or even the international community, the world. So this is something which is actually very important in terms of checking the impact of education on society, the economic development of a society. The next point to discuss here is the social control. Education exposes civil customs and harmful traditions of society. Not only this, it creates public opinion against social evils and succeeds in elimination of all these evils or all those things which are not considered to be good for the society. The elimination process of these things from society for the good of the individuals as well as the good of the whole society can also be done only through education. In other words, education is greatly essential for social control. Without social control, no reformation in a society is possible. The next point is social change. We can see and we can actually quote to different people like Ottaway. He has rightly asserted that education brings about social changes of very important nature. We see that due to modern science, that new researches and techniques, revolutionary changes are occurring in all fields of human activities. Education imparts knowledge of these latest developments to the individuals and provide adequate inspiration for their use, which in turn bring about the creation of new ideals, values, and goals which society gradually adopts. The next point of discussion is the social reform. Education brings about social change and social reform in a continuous manner. It does not only achieve identification and adjustment with the present social state of affairs, but also develops intelligence, insight, and capability to remove what is evil and bad from about the from the actually bringing all those things which are desirable, removing all those things which are evil and bad, and bringing those things which are desirable or the desirable changes and reforms of society or basically to the social fabric of the society for the good of the individuals as well as for the welfare of the society too. So basically education is responsible for doing all these things in terms of making a kind of or bringing a kind of reform in the society. The next point is the socialization of a child. Education socializes a child. In the school, a child comes into contact with other children and comes to know about the interactions. Basically, the child interacts with the ideas or the ideals of other people, the cultural values and patterns or the behaviors of other children. In this way, the child develops himself or herself to a socially and culturally enriched person. So if we say that in the school the socialization process of child is also happening, that will be correct. So this child imbibes the cultural values and ideals of society of which this child is an integral part. So that actually is somehow a very important process for the socialization of a child. So we have seen now that uh, a lot of things we have seen in terms of the impact of the education on society, and it can be seen that Both of them, education and society, are closely and intimately in relationship. And society and education, you can say that, have got a very intimate relationship. Both are mutually interdependent and complementary. And we can say that as in the society, uh, what type of society we are going to have, it is actually defined, or it can be decided by the sort of education, the type of education which we are going to impart in our society. So in the same way, uh, in education, in whatever sort of education we are providing to our people, that will is going to decide that what sort of society we are going to make. So because of this fact, the society organizes education according to its needs, ideas and aspirations, and education in turn constructs and often reconstructs the social structure. So this is something which can be discussed when we are seeing the impact of education on society. So, what are the duties of society towards education? Basically, it is the immense duty of a society towards making its citizens educated and much more able. Development of a society is possible only when its individual members also will grow up and develop, because education develops the individuals. So it is the bound duty, or an essential duty of society to organize proper education for its individuals to grow and develop more and more, and they should flourish. Then only the society is going to flourish. So now we are going to have a look on all those important duties of a society towards education. The first point which needs to be discussed here is the establishment of schools. This is the prime duty of a society, to establish and maintain schools for all the age groups of children. They should be providing the able and trained teachers to work or to teach in these schools, and make available all the aids and educational resources to achieve complete and harmonious development of all children of the school, or those children who are being studying in the schools. Uh, and this can be done only by organizing an effective system of education. And we can say that establishing schools, appointing trained teachers, and providing financial assistance to all these schools or institutions is the first duty of society. Then comes the next duty, which is the provision of vocational education. Even we have seen that even in the our new policy of education which we have just received, this provision of vocational education has been given a very kind of importance, so that students can be made very much self-sufficient and self-reliant. So this can be considered as the second duty of a society. And what exactly is this? To make the provision of vocational, technical, professional, agricultural, and other types of education for all children, so that they develop themselves according to their interests, their aptitudes, and inherent capacities to the fullest extent, and contribute effectively to the progress and prosperity of the society. May be noted here that without scientific education of various types, a country will lag behind, and the community of the nations, the community of the world nations, uh, this country who is actually not taking care of the scientific education is going to lag behind in the world community, and it will remain backward and poor. So it is very important to take care of this aspect. Each and every society should be very much conscious of its obligations towards such provisions in the educational process and programs. What exactly is this? The educational provisions of scientific education, which should be made essential with any type of vocational education or skill-based education, because that is actually the backbone or the basis of these skill educations. The next point here is the establishment of libraries for the mental progress and development of individuals, or uh, this is the society's duty to make or to establish and maintain more and more reading material or reading rooms and these libraries where there can be the provision of ample reading material like newspaper or like all these articles which are published in the newspapers or journals, periodicals, magazines, or any sort of reading material. Nowadays, even the reading material which is in the digital format can also be provided, and these things should be made free and you can say very easily available to all the citizens. So this is something which is very much important for a society to actually make all these things available for the citizens who belong to the society. The next point which can be discussed here is the building of gymnasiums or those areas which are responsible or which can be used for the physical wellness, because physical well-being and development of individuals is equally important and essential. So, society should provide adequate physical education through different type of means, like even there can be lectures and training programs, there can be webinars, there can be some sort of uh, discussions which can be made in terms of making awareness towards physical well-being. There can be gymnasiums, there can be parks or places where there can be equipment which can be used by everybody, games and sports and provisions for playing and different type of sport activities which can be done at different places, and these type of provisions for children, for youngsters, and even for adults should be made, and this is again the responsibility of the society for making all these things available. The next thing which I would like to discuss is the provision of academic and cultural education. This is again an essential duty of a society uh, to actually promote the cultural and academic development of individuals through proper education. It may be made very much clear that schools and other educational centers established by society can contribute to a great extent in this connection, uh, because academic and cultural functions together with the with different type of conferences should also be organized. So basically the academic and cultural aspects can be made together, and by the means of different conferences or different type of programs uh, which can be organized frequently to achieve these purposes of making the academic and cultural education uh, basically in coherence. Then the next point is the provision of adult education. This is again a very kind of essential duty of society for making adequate provision for adult education. It may be made again very much clear that all societies are quite conscious about or they should be made conscious of providing education for school going children, but they are quite indifferent towards their grown up adults who could not receive any education in their early and middle ages of life. So, uh, because due to any of those problems which they would be having at that time, they were not in a position to attain education in their in the age when they were children. It becomes the responsibility of the society to impart some sort of adult education. by different type of motivational activities, different type of movements, different type of ways and means in which these adults can be motivated towards getting some basic education. Only then the adults will do their best to promote social welfare and social development. The next point here, which I need to mention, is enlisting cooperation of other agencies. The society should try to enlist the cooperation of all agencies in organizing its educational programs, policies, and procedures. The family is actually the foremost important agency. Then in few of the cases, it can be different religious organizations, the school, the community, and other formal organizations. They can be taken together with the different informal agencies, and they should be inspired to cooperate with the educational efforts and activities in all aspects and in the field of growth and development. For example, this cooperation between different agencies can be seen where the community is coming right away to impart education to the children. We can see that in different government schools and even public schools, there are certain sessions, there are certain periods which are assigned to those people who belong to the community. They are having some sort of skills with which are being worked with the uh, uh, they are working in different type of skills, and they come and impart that skill based education to the children. So this participation of community can be one of the example of the cooperation between the society and all these institutions which are developed or organized by the society, and between the agencies of or institutions, the formal and informal education systems of education, where the people who are the part of the society come together and become the part of the educational system towards the development of society as a whole. So this is something which is related to the duties of society towards education. After seeing the duties of society towards education, let us see what are the duties of education towards the society. Let us just discuss these things in few of those important points. The first point here is the preservation of culture and civilization. The primary duty of education towards society is to preserve its culture and civilization. In fact, customs, traditions, beliefs, morality, ideals, language, and accepted patterns of behavior are the best sort of examples, or you can say that these are the basis of education and culture. So, education should preserve and develop the social heritage. Then the next point is maintenance of culture and civilization. This is the second important duty of education, and basically it is to promote and develop the culture and civilization of the society. In this connection, education should not only impart knowledge of these cultural excellences and achievements of civilization, but it should see that these valued things or values which are to be cherished become part of the behavior pattern of the individuals. So this was the second point where the maintenance of culture and civilization was emphasized. Then the next point is development of culture and civilization of the society. First, in the first point, we have seen the preservation of culture and civilization. Then we saw the maintenance of culture and civilization, and here is the development of culture and civilization of society. So education should not only preserve and maintain, but also develop more and more the cultural heritage and civilizational achievements of society. If education fails to perform this important duty, society will become static and may stagnate uh, to certain extent. And that is why education should enable individuals to become dynamic and to proceed towards higher and higher heights of excellence. The next point to be discussed here is the fulfillment of social needs. Education should fulfill the needs and meet the requirements of society. It may be remembered well that needs of society change with the changing times, circumstances, and situations. Education should understand these needs, these circumstances, and the situations, and then it should devise the plans and programs to meet these demands. And education should be a continual ongoing process so that all these societal needs can be fulfilled with this imparting of education in the right way and manner. Then the next point here is the importance in curriculum. This is somehow the important duty of education to formulate a curriculum suited to the modern needs of society. Without a suitable and effective curriculum, education will fail in its duties to develop individuals to face the challenges of life and solve the emerging problems with courage, with boldness, with fortitude and conviction. So, this is the reason why education should always remain conscious. It should be evolving, it should be very much renewed or reconstructed, and at the same time sensitive towards the purpose which it is having. So, this is the important duty of education towards society to make a suitable and a very proper curriculum. Then the next point is the development of constructive powers. This is a very important duty of education where it should promote and develop more and more the creative and constructive faculties of individuals. And this is only possible and only then basically uh, the individuals will be able to develop their personalities in a harmonious manner and contribute positively towards the development of society, which is going to bring out the national welfare as a result. So basically the final result will be the national welfare. If we develop a very positive citizen, a very positive individual who is constructive and who is having a lot of constructive power, first the society will be prepared very properly, and as a result, the entire nation will be having the welfare of it, and the nation is going to grow up properly. So now we have reached to the summary of this session. Let us just have a quick recap what we have studied. We have seen here in this session that there is a very intimate relation between education and different societies. And we have seen this intimate sort of relation in terms of different societies like the ancient and medieval society, modern society, idealistic society, materialistic, pragmatic, fascist society, and also in the democratic society. Then we have seen the impact of society on education, and we have also seen the impact of education on society, where we have seen a lot of different things which actually prove that how uh, both of these things actually make an impact on each other. We have also seen the different duties of society towards education. Few of those points or duties are the establishment of schools, the provision of vocational education, establishment of libraries, different gymnasiums and different places which are responsible for the physical development of children, then provision of academic and cultural education, provision of adult education, and enlisting the cooperation of other agencies like the cooperation of family or the cooperation of members of the society in terms of imparting education to the children. Then we have also seen the duties of education towards society, which actually is very important uh, when we are talking about education and the relationship of education. It is very important to see that what exactly is the duty of education towards society. So we have seen that the preservation of culture and civilization, maintenance of culture and civilization, development of culture and civilization, um, and fulfillment of social needs, improvement in curriculum, and development of constructive powers. All these things are the basic duties of education towards society. So with all these points, we have seen that it can be very clearly seen or thought about that there is a very intimate relation between education and society, which should be flourished and which should be taken up and constructively utilized in terms of the development of our society, the citizenship, and even the individuals who are the part of the society, who make the society. Because in terms of educating them, once we make them worthwhile, they are going to contribute in the development of the society, and with the development of the society, they are at in the result make the nation a wealthy and a very a kind of place which is considered to be very much developed and very much important for the world. So we can make a strengthy nation in terms of making the citizens uh, with the equipped with this with all these educational skills and educational acquisitions. So this is all about the relation between education and society, which we have just discussed. These are few of those references and suggested links which I have discussed while developing this session, this lecture. You can also go ahead and study these links, these books and references to enhance your knowledge, because as you read more, you study more, you will find that a lot of things are acquired by you, which will make your understanding of society much more enhanced. So with these words, I'll take leave from you all, and we will see each other in another lesson at some other time. Thank you so much. Dear students, you are watching a video on sociological basis of education, and in this lecture we discuss the relationship between education and society. This video lecture was recorded by faculty at home during the national lockdown period for COVID-19 pandemic using minimal technical resources. Technical errors, if any, are unintentional and may please be ignored. For any queries with regard to this lecture or broadcast, kindly send your email to techsupport@dth.ac.in. Thank you so much.